Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So in today's video I wanted to go through with you how we decant our formula just to make it a little bit easier to scoop the powder out of. I showed you in my last video how we're weaning our baby off of formula milk to fresh milk just because he has turned 1 year old and that's the recommendation for the UK. And a lot of you saw that I was using a container for the formula and I got a lot of comments on what formula we were using and why we had dispensed it into a container. So this video is an explanation of that. We use the Hipp Organic formula and usually formulas come in their own container which you can easily scoop out of, but with the Hipp Organic formula it comes in a cardboard box and sachets. So you can use the actual cardboard box. It does come with a scoop section so you can cut a sachet open and scoop out and scrape against that scoop. However, we find it really difficult and a lot of the formula ends up in the bottom. Also, it's not an airtight container. The bags do come with stickers which you can close the bags up with again, but we just find that it's not airtight enough for us, so we choose to decant it. And this is the container that we use, so as you can see we are currently using it. We got this off of Amazon, so I'll leave a link down below for it so you can purchase it as well. It does come with its own scoop, but we got rid of that because we are only using the scoop that comes with the actual formula, just so we know the measurements exact. So just wanted to show you what we do once the formula gets to the bottom and runs out, and then how we wash it and reuse it. I'm going to grab this formula dispenser. I got this off Sheetin. Again, you can buy something like this off of Amazon. I'll leave this linked also. I'm going to take everything apart and count out 5 ounces of formula into as many will fit. So we've got number 1 here, that's done, and then number 2 was only able to fit 2 ounces into that one. And then with whatever else is remaining in the bottom, I'm going to dispense into a container on its own, just so that I know that that's not a full scoop. Once I've done that, I'm going to put them all back together. I'm going to keep that one that's not a full scoop separate. And then I'm going to go ahead and wash the container. So I'm first going to take out the leveler of the container and then I'm going to take the lid apart. It comes in 2 parts and then it's got the rubber seal, so I'm going to take that off as well. Give it a rinse down and then wash all the parts with normal washing up liquid. And then once that's done, I'm going to leave it to dry. Once it's 90% dry, I'm going to start preparing it to add formula. I'm just going to take some tissue and make sure I am wiping it over. So I'm going into all these little crevices as well and just making sure it's all dry, just so that there's definitely no more water left. We don't want any water residue just because powder likes to stick to water and it will become a mess. Once I've done all that, I'm going to put it all back together. So add the rubber seal on and then join the 2 bits of the lid together, put the scoop leveler back in. So that's it, that's now ready. I'm now going to get the formula. I'm going to take off the perforated seal and open it up, and then you can see here it comes with a scoop, so I'm going to save that to one side. Each box will come with its own brand new scoop. You don't have to keep the old scoop that comes with it. And then here are the bags. So there's 2 bags. It's an 800-gram box, so I think they are 400 grams each bag. And then you can see it's got the sticker at the back there if you wanted to reseal the bag. And then there's the second box. So I'm going to cut the top of the bag off and then I'm going to decant it into the container. Put my scoop in there and then put the lid back on. Just make sure you push it closed so it's nice and tight. And once I've done that, it's ready to go and I can continue filling up my dispenser with the formula. So you can do this in a couple of ways. In this video, I dump the old formula directly into the container. Other ways I do like to do it is concentrate it into the actual scoop itself and then add more to that scoop, just so that I know that all the old powder has been used. Whereas dumping it into the container like this, you are still going to use it. Formula is good for a month anyway. We get through a full box of formula in about a week and a half. So I know it's going to be fine and it'll all get used up well within the time frame. And once that's in there, we can now continue filling up our dispenser. So obviously the first one we have already 5 ounces in. I'm just going to add 3 more ounces to the second one just to make sure that it's also 5 ounces, and then I'm going to put it all back together. The reason I'm only filling the first 2 up is because I want to wash this dispenser once those 2 formulas have been used, and then make sure to put my lid on the formula so it's nice and sealed. And again, you can see that second bag is still in the box, and that'll just stay in the box until the current formula is finished, just because it keeps it the freshest. But obviously if you did want to, you can dispense both of the packets. So in this clip you can see we've used up the 2 formulas, so I'm now going to wash this container, and again it just means that we get rid of all that old powder and we can start fresh again. So I'm going to take it all apart, again wash it with normal washing up liquid and a scouring sponge, leave it out to dry, and then once again I'm going to wipe it down with some paper towel just to make sure that it's completely dry. When I'm happy with that, I'm going to start filling them up again with 5 ounces of formula. That's just because that's what Riyadh drinks. Obviously fill it up with what your baby has. These are really good, they can fit up to 8 ounces I think. So this formula now does come in an actual tin, so I wanted to show you that. I thought I'd upload this video anyway because you guys asked, and of course just in case formulas do go back to the paper packaging and the sachets in the future, just because I think it is more environmentally friendly. So this is what the tin looks like. It does have a seal at the front. Obviously this is one that we are using at the moment, so we've taken that seal off. And then if I just open it here, you can see that the scoop is at the top. You can just remove the scoop. If it's a new box, you will see a seal underneath that scoop, which just makes sure that the powder is kept fresh. I've obviously taken it off because we're using it, and then if you just scoop up the formula, you can scrape it on the front there and you get a really nice flat surface. I'm just going to show you that scrape again. If you scrape as much as you can see some formula at the back. Just make sure that you tilt your spoon to face upwards so the formula at the back can drop back down and it's not going into your bottle. There is a bit of metal at the back which you can use as a scoop, but I really find that difficult to do because you can see I've done it here now and it's not level. So I always use the one at the front just because it always gives me a level scoop. If I pop that back in, I'll just show you the spoon. The spoon itself is a little bit different as well, so it's different to that blue spoon that we had earlier in the video. It's a bit wider, not as comfortable to hold. The spoon itself is a bit shallow and it's got a few holes at the bottom. I'm not sure why, but it works fine as a scoop. And it's nice that they've thought about somewhere where you can actually put the spoon. But that's it guys, that's why I was using a separate container for my formula. That's how I used to do it. Now it comes in a tin, it's not even needed anymore, but I just wanted to share it with you. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave any comments down below if you have any questions, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Take care, bye!